This is Garfield. We're doing this because it's still fresh on my mind, this fucking movie. God damn it. When we were little kids, didn't we always talk about, like, a Garfield movie and what it would be like and what would be in it?
Well, for one thing, it would have been animated.
Yeah. Well, who says this wasn't? But the whole thing would have been animated.
Parts were animated, but...
Even if they did it all CG. This is one of the few times where it's like, if you made it all CG, I would have been okay. That would have been fine. Instead you had to get these human actors that act like not interesting animated characters. They act like characters from the Christmas tree. And I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, because we both really liked Garfield growing up, and I even said, even the stuff that we knew wasn't good, like, hey, here's a Garfield picture book of just him going to school. Garfield goes to school or something like that, but it was still Garfield. He was still this cynic. He would still roll his eyes, and he was lazy and everything else.
And yes, it's formulaic, but I still find it funny.
Yeah, and so the TV show, it's funny, even if there's not, like, a big budget behind it, like the TV show Garfield and Friends, like, that was, watching it again years later, it's so cheap. I mean, the animation and the music and everything is so cheap.
You could tell they had zero budget, but it was still amusing.
The writing was actually really good. And so much of it just centered around him and what a likable character he was, and it wasn't bound by any real sense of reality. It was like, yeah, okay, it's a cat in suburbia, but he can walk on two legs. People kind of hear his thoughts. That was always the part that confused me the most.
It surprises me how you have... I mean, Jim Davis has been doing this for decades. He's got the formula down to a science. I mean, let's not be honest. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, Garfield is formulaic. It's, a series of similar jokes, but they're all well put together and they're funny. At least I think they're funny. Probably have people come to me, Garfield sucks. But, so, I don't get how, when you have somebody who has gotten this down to a science and done this for decades, you can't just literally shit out a movie that's prefabricated and at least serviceable. Like, this isn't even a serviceable movie. This is just rock bottom.
And what's so fascinating about it is that they try to have it in reality. And it's like, you can't, Odie's a real dog, and the mice are real mice and stuff like that.
Well, it's not even really reality.
But
it's
Garfield
like some sort of
is
Edward
this...
Scissorhands cartoonish reality.
No, but that's the thing. It's really, for the most part, just like suburban homes and whatever, and pets are pets and everything. But like, Garfield looks like a fucking Martian. He looks so gross. And Odie looks, even though he's a real dog, almost looks worse. I mean, he's just this ugly dog that looks nothing like the original. Normal's a joke, and like, none of the characters are like what they should be.
Normal just blew my mind. I'm just like, when he finally said, hey, Normal, I was like, where? I'm like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, not that cat. What, the Siamese cat? What? I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
How hard is it to find a great cat? I think, like, the girl cat, I always forget her name, but, like, the girl cat was great.
It's not even the breed of cat, it's just the voice. Like, the voice, the personality, Normal is supposed to be the cutest widow kitty cat on the planet, and I'm like,
and that's funny. Well, how funny would that have been with all the cat videos out there and all the obsession with cat to have Normal in that world? I mean, that'd be hilarious. And they're just like, just make it
It's the internet age, and the movie seems strangely dog obsessed with that damn dog show.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, we couldn't have made it about, like, there's your better plot. Like, have it be a competition between Garfield and Normal for cuteness. Bring the internet into it. If you're gonna go that stupid reality route, like, and
here's what I was realizing. The scene where Odie goes in the middle of the show and starts jumping on his legs, everyone goes, like that. I realized, there's that one guy I always try to cut to whenever
with
I do
the giant Petco sign that the camera always seems to have that Petco sign somehow in frame.
And Wendy's and Pepsi and Ace Hardware. It's like, okay, so they, that idea of Odie going in, just jumping on his legs, and everyone standing and playing, I could actually see that in a Garfield special in that world, but Garfield would be like, doing something like, he'd be like a samurai or doing flips and kicks and something like that.
And then crickets would chirp.
Yeah, and crickets would chirp and he'd walk off and then Odie would go up and go like that and go, that would be the joke and that would be funny.
But there was no payoff.
And they didn't have the reality that Garfield had, this really flexible, funny reality. It was like, no, it's pretty much just supposed to be the real world, except there's a talking cat who you can't hear.
And I'm hard-pressed to think of a movie this... I didn't see Terminator Genesis. I'm told that one's pretty miscast. But this, shockingly, like, ridiculously, pathetically miscast.
With the exception of Bill Murray.
With the exception of Bill Murray, every single person is absolutely wrong, including the dog.
Yeah.
Including the cat that plays Nermal. Though I didn't mind that he was Siamese so much, but I don't get it. Like, how hard is it to find somebody to play a goofy John Arbuckle?
Yeah,
or be a geeky-looking Liz. Liz was probably the closest, but even she looks way too good.
Like, yeah, she was way too nice. I mean,
they were supposed to be geeky people, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we enjoy Garfield. Garfield is not funny for the jokes. I mean, whether you like the jokes or not, that is not the reason Garfield's funny. Garfield is funny for the people and for the personalities and for the characters.
These are blatant cynicism.
Yeah, these are such great characters, and I think that's why people relate to Garfield so well, is because, I mean, at the time, and even still kind of now, he really does kind of represent this part of America that wants to enjoy the laziness and enjoy, like, yeah, I'm lazy and fat, who cares? And I'm cynical and I'll make fun of stuff, who cares? I'm me. And there was kind of this point where it's like, you know, cool, he's kind of comfortable with it, but he's also kind of likable. He's never quite goes too far. And even when he does, he sort of backtracks and realizes he's gone too far. And I guess they were kind of getting that. I mean, Garfield himself, like, once in a while, it's like, okay, that kind of seems right, or that seems like something he would do. And like I said, Bill Murray's voice is very good for it. But, yeah, it just seems like we're just doing jokes. You know, we will have this thing with Odie, which is kind of a constant story arc that comes back with them, but aside from that, it's just jokes. Who would want that kind of exposure? I need a CAT scan. A CAT scan! Oh, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese?
But the jokes aren't funny!
Yeah.
Like, a Garfield strip will make me laugh, not all the time, but I still will get some laughs. I can't think of a single joke that I laughed at in this film. Not a one.
But that's the thing. I can read a Garfield strip and not laugh, but still feel good. It's like, oh, that's what Garfield's up to. Like, that's how good a character it is.
There was no character in this movie.
Yeah, no, and even with, like, because that is true, that, like, John and Liz, I guess, are now dating. I found this out doing research. I haven't read it in a while, but I'm just like, really? Okay, and a part of me just sort of went, good for them. Yeah, you know? I'm like, good for them, you know?
John finally gets lucky.
They moved on.
And Liz finally settles.
And it's one of those things where I was just sort of like, you know, it almost makes me want to go and read and see what happened
Garfield had
there.
personality, and Garfield knew how to appeal to kids. I liked the little specials they did. The Christmas special is legitimately touching.
Yeah.
I love the, what was it, Babes and Bullets?
Yeah,
they knew
those
how
books
to,
are so
they knew
great.
how to grab kids in and be good. Like, the specials knew how to be goofy and grab kids in. I'm trying to think of films I enjoyed as a kid. I would have loved this.
No,
I think I would have been bored. I would have been bored off my ass. And thank God we didn't have cell phones back then like we do. If we had cell phones like we do now in the 80s, yeah, the whole movie.
This movie sucks.
Yeah, I just would have been sitting here playing games, and I would have looked up occasionally like, yep, still sucks, and back to Angry Birds or whatever. But it just fail.
It feels like,
fail
again,
on every level.
We're kind of talking about, I don't know if this came out at the same time as Thomas the Tank Engine, but we were kind of talking about how there was just this idea of like, you know what, just do it, throw whatever you want. I mean, but make sure it stands to this very
But make sure Garfield's dancing to Black Eyed Peas. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, that's all, you know, all the jazz and all the nice music that has been in all the specials and stuff like that. And we get this, you know, what the Black Eyed Peas are like Cuban pop or something like that. But how the fuck is that Garfield, like, at all? You know, it's not.
Hey, who's willing to whore themselves out right now? Throw that song in there.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like just another corporate sellout, and we can do it for a kids' film because
the whole movie was
fucking kids.
The whole
They'll
movie
see it.
was
We
a
don't give
corporate
shit.
sellout. The fact that some people are just like, oh, you bring up Man of Steel, but this and that. I'm sorry, this movie, like, some people are trying to argue this movie isn't a corporate sellout because, oh, well, there are products in real life, and therefore it's okay if they show.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference between, a product in the background and...
Let's show the beginning of a Wendy's commercial here, just for a good couple seconds so you can see it.
Show a full 10 seconds of a Wendy's commercial, then what killed me was there's Wendy's and Petco ads everywhere, and then on his fucking model railroad, he's got two billboards. And it's Pepsi and Wendy's. I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. The only two things John
that
sees
exist in this world.
Yeah, like, I'm like, this is so desperate. So desperate. It's just sad. And if people can't see that, and they're like, well, I don't think it's a corporate, they're like, get new glasses, get contacts, something. Like, what movie were you watching?
You did notice it in Man of Steel, right? I mean,
some people are upset that you just say the words Man of Steel.
So mad that some people just take it down from YouTube.
Some people were trying to say, well, you should have gone with something like 8 Crazy Nights, or I felt that was different because honestly, I thought The Mall made more sense within the context of the story. I'm like, well, at least he's having this flashback or dream sequence or whatever in a mall.
Well, so even then, in 8 Crazy Nights, I went to Man of Steel, so it's like I'm just gonna do it again.
But I'm like, this is so blatant, and the way the camera just, like, I love the whole crowd set up with the giant Petco sign in the background, and then like he trips over the Petco food, and I'm like, I have the sudden urge to buy only Petco products.
Hey, here's the thing, it's an interesting combination because product placement, it's everywhere in movies, and it's how well can you disguise it, or how well can you even be blatant but funny with it? I mean, use it to your advantage.
This wasn't even funny. It was just
it wasn't funny, and there are times where it's like, if it's really all over a movie, it's fine, just make it work for the movie, and that's why I think Man of Steel really pops out to me, because, like, that was, like, the one really cool scene, that action sequence, but they also put all those product placements everywhere.
And that's the funny thing is, in retrospect, most of what I remember from that is like, oh yeah, they crashed into an IHOP. Like,
IHOP. No, I remember IHOP, Sears, U-Haul, the gas station. I forget.
If that's what you end up remembering, your stupid product placement is distracting. And Man of Steel got a lot of shit, not just from us, from the internet in general. So, and the few defenders who want to defend the product, listen, if you like Man of Steel as a movie, that's fine. I don't care.
Even people that love it are like, no, that product placement was...
Yeah, but even people that love it...
Like,
so if you are going to the point where you're going to defend the product placement of Man of Steel, your argument's getting pretty rock bottom. Like, just defend it as a movie and be like, I think it's a good movie. That's fine, but the product placement in that movie sucked.
But let's keep this to Garfield.
Yes, the product placement in Garfield sucks.
It's just...
And you know what blows my mind, too? At least I can think... thinking like advertising executives and people who run these corporations, I'm like, Man of Steel. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do a product placement in a movie, I'd be like, well, there's a big summer hit. It's like, who wants to be associated with the Garfield movie?
It was a hit. They made a sequel.
I'll tell you this, it had the opposite effect on me, because I never want to go into a Wendy's or a Petco again so long as I live.
I never did before anyway, so now I'm even less interested.
It was so obnoxious that I'm just like, no, you can keep your square hamburgers. I've had it. I'm out.
But yeah, I think when I saw the trailer for this movie, the first trailer, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like Smurfs or Alvin and the Chipmunks or whatever. Like, it's not gonna be the product they're promising us. And I feel bad that they got Bill Murray, but I could just see it. I'm like, no, this isn't gonna work. John's way too good looking. Odie doesn't look like Odie. Garfield's hideous. Oh, they're dancing? Okay, this is for 2-year-olds. I'm not gonna like this. So when I'm finally forced to see it, because I know it'd probably be a funny review, and it's worth talking about what a good character Garfield is, in my opinion. Because there was a time where Garfield just ruled the world.
Where you couldn't drive your car out without seeing a Garfield suction cup.
Yeah, and it was all over the kids' department. We had all the merchandise and everything.
You still got your Garfield mug sitting in the kitchen.
You know what it is?
With his name on it.
I do. I'm gonna go get it. You talked about the movie. I'm gonna go get it.
Okay, I guess he's gonna go get the mug. So, yeah. This movie really blows. I don't know what the hell else to say. Will you get back here?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's in the dishwasher.
He's still looking... Oh my god, he's getting it out of the dishwasher.
Oh no, I can't find it.
This is desperate.
There it is. It's in the
This is desperate. This is more desperate than the product placement in the movies.
Yeah, no, here we go. You want product placement? You want product placement? Watch traditional Garfield. That's how much I loved Garfield when I was a kid. I still have this mug. What was it?
I love how...
Okay, it says 78, but I know that's not true.
I love how on the reverse, you got that in the late 80s. I love... Or was it mid-80s? No, late 80s.
Yeah.
I love how in the reverse, though, through the viewfinder, it says, good.
God.
God.
It's God spelled backwards. What's missing? You. Join my religion.
That's the other thing. When you were talking about the trailer... If I were an advertising executive and I saw the trailer, I'd been like, can I get my product placement pulled? Can you CGI my product out of this? And I don't care if it was a hit. Nobody's sitting here saying this movie's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, who would want to be associated with Garfield, the movie, not the character?
Well, and all the actors that were in it kind of make fun of it too. They're like, I feel like Mike J holding this. But all the actors that are in it, Bill Murray obviously makes fun of it. Breckin Meyer, is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Who is normally hilarious.
He's very funny.
Completely miscast.
Yeah.
You want to see a much better movie with him and then watch Rat Race.
Rat Race, watch any Robot Chicken. Well, he makes
Robot Chicken's
the clip I was
amazing.
trying to find of Robot Chicken is when at some point he plays himself in the show, like the stop motion version, and like it's a behind the scenes thing, and he's just throwing a temper tantrum. He says, "Hey, I don't need this. I was in Garfield." Like so, they know.
We're talking about a movie so universally hated, even the stars are making fun of it.
Yeah.
Bill Murray in Zombieland. Any regrets? Garfield, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's. Look it up. I mean that is all true. They thought it was one of the Coens.
It's when Garfield just started dancing to the Black Eyed Peas. I'm like, okay, this is
we're not trying. This is trailer fodder.
This is desperation. This is something you cough up only when somebody's put a gun to your head or your cat and says, "Give me something in 2 seconds." Garfield dancing with Black Eyed Peas. Don't kill him. It's just so sad and desperate.
I mean, look at this. This is just a mug with a little Garfield on it. It has the name. It's corporate. It's a sellout. But look, that's Garfield. That's the expression he would have. He's just painting, and he's just like, oh, hey, I'm Garfield. I don't care. It's just that's who he is. And that's the power of the character. I mean, he's so likable, and it's just, I really didn't think you could so misrepresent the feeling and the mood and the likability of such a likable character until I saw this movie.
Oh, and you were right about the special effects, by the way. When we watched it the first time, I didn't notice the special effects that much. I was just like,
do I just see something with CG? Am I just too used to how much it sucks most of the time?
Once you mentioned it, I think part of it was I was so disinterested in the movie. I wasn't watching Garfield the cat as a character. I was just staring off in the distance at other things in the movie. Once I watched the review and I was looking at the scenes in particular when you're like, hold that air, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that is really fake.
No, even
really fake.
I mean, it's one of the, but it's like, why try? We're gonna get kids to go see it anyway. We have our product placement. Why try? Because it's Garfield, and Garfield's awesome.
You know what kills me? I would have been happy if it was just an animated cat. That would have made as much fucking sense.
Yeah, a hand-drawn cat.
He was 2D animated, and you did it like Roger Rabbit. Would have made as much sense, and would have been probably more entertaining.
And wouldn't that make the world just a little bit more surreal, and you could get away with more jokes that way, and it could be more like the world that Garfield created, where it is a very flexible reality. It can go to these extremes, but then it's like they still live in suburbia.
But Doug, you're thinking. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the reason I really want to do this one, because I love Garfield. Still got the mug. I'm gonna grab another thing.
Oh my god.
This is another thing I got when I was a little kid.
He's possessed.
This is like one of the first things I bought, like just as a decoration. It wasn't like a poster or something like that. And I remember I was 11 years old. Look at that. And I still have this thing.
That's still how you look when you sit in the lazy boy.
Exactly. Just. I mean, that's
close those legs. A lady reveals nothing.
So there you go. I mean, this is Garfield, and it's corporate, and it's trying to sell me shit. But I don't care, because it's still Garfield. They got Garfield.
Good corporate whoring.
Look at this. Throughout this is more Garfield in these two inanimate objects than in your entire movie. And it's just, I think that's what fascinates me.
I feel like I just watched you shrink into a 10-year-old again.
I don't know. I didn't realize how much I actually really loved Garfield until I saw how terrible it was done. And how I really just thought I could always love this icon, and then when you see just people don't really try, and it's corporate, but not not in a smart way, not in a way that's true to the character or the world or the humor or the environment. And yeah, it was a bit of an eye-opener, I guess. I think, again, that is the benefit of reviewing bad movies, because you really can see how not to do certain things, because this is still corporate, this is still merchandising and selling out and stuff, but it's still the character. You got it. This is who he is. He's never been the size of the sofa or whatever, but it's like, you got it. You just sort of buy it's that flexible reality, and this one, there's too many rules. There's too much, the mice had to be real mice, but he has to be computer generated. All the other pets had to be real, but they can talk, and then Odie can, and then the people are real people. And it's just something where it's like, but it never goes full extreme, full cartoon, full goofy. And it just plays it way too safe and way too corporate and not fun.
Here's an idea, Hollywood. Give a shit! Really, that's basically what you need to do. Don't do a movie because you're like, oh, well, we can throw some product placements in it. Or, oh, well, it's Garfield, it sells itself. Do it because you just want to tell a good story.
Do a Lego movie.
Do it, yeah.
That's about as obvious an advertisement as you can get, and that movie was amazing.
It is the fucking toy, and the movie's amazing.
There's no way around that. You can get, this is one big commercial, but they put their fucking everything into it.
Because it seems like whoever was involved liked fucking Legos.
Yeah.
And whoever was involved with this didn't fucking like Garfield. Or if they did, they're just sad and misguided, and I want to help them somehow, but I don't know how, so...
Yeah, so,
Anger!
Yeah.
Loud voices!
Again, I will say, I don't know if Garfield ever demanded to be a movie anyway, to be honest. I don't know if there...
That ship sailed.
Yeah.
It would have had... It's like The Simpsons...
It should have been done
like when the Simpsons movie came out, it's just like, this is just sad and pathetic. Like, this is way too late. Like, Garfield as a movie should have come out early 90s tops.
Yeah. Or like when the Phantom movie came out, Phantom of the Opera, it's like, no, you waited way too long. You had to do this at the height. I'm afraid that's going to happen with Wicked, because it's like a Wicked movie would really be fun, but it's like, I think they're just waiting too long now, and it's like, it's going to... Unless you can really somehow revamp that up.
Who are we offended now? Garfield fans, Simpsons fans,
Broadway,
Wicked, Phantom of the Opera. You know the fangirls are going to rip you apart for that one. How dare you?
I love Gerard Butler. This is the point of no return.
Please don't do that.
Bad enough listening to him.
Listen, send all your email to him. Stop asking me why he doesn't like it.
No, if you like Gerard Butler as a singer, contact your local psychiatrist. No, that is something like...
I said, ask him. He said it. Stop asking me on my public Facebook.
Well, I mean, you see, all the singing roles he got after that. I mean, people were just like, please, more Gerard Butler, more singing.
Hey, I'd rather we have Russell Crowe, okay?
Again, just another, we just said more Russell Crowe, more singing. But yeah, like I said, it was... Even though I really had no desire to see it, it really did open my eyes about, like, the right way, but still a corporate way, clearly, to do a character and represent a character. And this movie just did not get it. It just got way too corporate and not caring. And it was during the time when they just didn't care. Like I said, this was around Alvin and the Chipmunks and I think Smurfs and stuff like that.
They're still crapping out those movies.
No, but not like... But this is back when, nobody could foresee something like the Lego movie or something like that actually being good and a hit, to a point where we're mad it did not get nominated for an Oscar.
That is true.
I mean, nobody could
I think
see
the only
that
time we'd be mad is if Garfield didn't get nominated for a Razzie.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's, I guess in some respects it shows how far we've come, and just the more seriously we're treating like family entertainment, which I say thank God. Again, if you want to see my editorial on that, I talk all about it.
But Doug Garfield's only there to advertise Wendy's. What else is there?
Clearly, that's what the movie thought. And Pepsi and Petco and fuck. I love you, Garfield. I love you. I don't love the movie. I'm not calling it your movie because you weren't in it, but I do not love the movie, and I love you. You're awesome. Garfield. Go read him. Go support him. The real Garfield.
This is like the real Ghostbusters.
Yes. They both have Lorenzo music.
Yeah.